Keesha, playing the songs for you, coming through your speakers. You know she keep you going and you need the Flavore AIDE on 108 praise. Lady Keesha, playing the songs for you, coming through your speakers. You know she keep you going and you need the Flavore AIDE on 108 praise. Tune into her show on the weekend. She'll lift your spirits up, you can deepen on Flavore AIDE's 108 praise. It's Keesha. Tune into her show on the weekend. She'll lift your spirits up, you can deepen on Flavore AIDE's 108 praise.
World, what is going on? This is Miss Keesha Rivers, aka Lady Keesha. Okay, I am new to the 108 Praise family. Yes, I am. I'm not new to radio, but I'm new to the 108 Praise family. But I'm not by myself today. I have my lovely guests here. To the left of me, we have Miss Keena C. And to the right of me, we have Miss Janet Montgomery. I'm telling you, today is going to be phenomenal. You guys need to get ready. Okay. But we're not going to be all boring and deep and, all of that. We love the Lord now. Yes. We love the Lord. We're going to give him his props, but we're going to chill. I'm country. I'm geechee. Sometimes my words ain't right. I don't say all that good stuff that people want to hear, but we're going to tell you what you need to hear. So that's what the show is about. So the name of the show is the Flavore AIDE radio show. I don't know if a lot of people understand what that means. Of course, Flavore AIDE is kind of like a Gatorade. So it comes with a lot of different varieties and things like that. So that's basically what it is. What's your flavor and your aid to that? So that's how we came up with Flavore AIDE. Yes, I know it sounds good. Okay, yeah. But the journey of Flavore AIDE has not been easy. We started out, and to be totally honest with you guys, I had no idea that I was going to be in radio. No idea. None. I'm saying none. So what happened was I was at church back home. We were just talking about Bishop Thompson. I was at the radio. There was an event that they had, and we were giving. We were in the process of giving. And someone from that church heard my voice, called the church the next day and said, this is what she had on. This is what she was saying in her testimony. And this is how much she gave. I'm like, why they got to put out there what I gave? And I ain't had that much now. Don't tell what I gave now. But to make a long story short, that blessed me and opened doors for radio. So with that being said, they gave her my number, and she called me, told me what she did, and she apologized for calling them for the number and everything. I said, no, because at the time, I didn't know that God was going to bless me with a job in radio, being the operations manager of the radio station. Didn't know how big that radio station was, and had other sister stations underneath that station. And I was in control of one major station that they had just launched. And not only that, they blessed me with double what I was making at the time.
Wow.
In 1 week.
That's amazing.
So with that, I said, Lord, whatever you desire me to do in radio, I want to go full-fledged. So coming from the country with the horses and the cows in a little small city called Reddick, Florida, y'all probably never heard of, probably never will travel there in your life. But going through Reddick, there's one traffic light, one four-way stop, a post office, a bank, and it used to be a grocery store. So backwoods me, little old country girl, never would have thought that God would allow that station to bless me and to open doors for me. So with that, I was cutting people their checks, making sure everything was ran at the station. I clearly remember one time there was a tornado or something going on. I was just leaving that station, locked up the station, headed home to my son at the time. The owner calls me and says, I need you to go back. I'm like, okay, why? I need you to go back. Something happened. You the manager. You got to go back. I'm saying, oh, Lord. I went back. Everything was good. I did not know she was going to bless me just for sacrifice and going back, because my day was done. But that sacrifice opened up another door, financial door that I needed. So at the end of the day, God is just so amazing.
Yes, he
how
is.
He brings and orchestrates stuff together. I'm saying the whole time, I just never ever knew how far this journey would take, the Flavor AIDE radio show. So with that being said, Keena and Janet, who you guys will meet a little later on in the show. So once that station launched, the Lord began to shift me in ministry and had me move to Georgia. So in Georgia, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to sit back. I ain't studying no radio. I ain't studying no nothing. I'm just going to sit back, relax, have fun, and enjoy the ATL. We in a lit city. I wasn't thinking about no radio, nothing else. But first, of course, I found my home church. Of course, you have to give God some of your time. He's making sacrifices and efforts and things like that. You have to give him some of your time. So I started visiting different churches and things, and one in particular, shout out to Global Impact Christian Ministries in Stockbridge, Georgia, where my pastor, my founder, Pastor Spencer O'Neill, I love you, you and lady, our wonderful, wonderful lady, Corlita McNeil. So thank you so much for that. With that, so after I joined my church and everything, I get a phone call from one of the radio personalities from the show in Florida. And she says, all right, I miss you, but I'm ready to come to Atlanta to be on some radio. What's going on? And I said, I'm breaking. I don't know what y'all doing, but I'm taking me a break. She was like, Keesha, you can't break. She said, because there's so many people behind you. It's just not about your break. You have to get in a position to where you got to expand. Right. You got to expand. Right. So I thought about it. Still was breaking. Wasn't studying what she said. But then the Lord began to deal with me, just day after day, my conscience. You know how it is when the Holy Spirit convicting you. We all know how that is. Yes. So I just submitted. I yield to God, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start researching. So I started reaching out to people. Shout out to Lakiba Wallace, who is a radio personality here at 108 Praise. She told me about another radio station at the time that she was involved in. And we became a part of that for a couple of years. And it was a phenomenal experience, but it was time to grow, and move forward. And it did what it did for us. And it opened up other doors for different personalities, because what we have with Flavor AIDE, we don't just have me as a host. I'm coming back from radio. All of our shows have been in existence for about 10 years with a different host every week. To open the platform and to set the opportunity up for other radio personalities to have their chance at radio. Because if I'm always on air, no one will ever get a chance to be on air, and that's not right, So we launched that, then we became a part of another show, and it just grew from there. We opened up a team there at that radio station, gave some more opportunities, and it grew from there. So I was so glad. I was so glad to have that opportunity as well. So even with that, I said there has to be more. There has to be more. Right. And I just began to pray. God began to deal with me on this another season, another level that's coming. But I couldn't be so in a rush. Right. I had to step back. Things began to get repetitious in radio. I'm like, okay, it can't be. It's time to grow. Right. So once I just said, I'm praying about it, I'm leaving it alone, this opportunity came for 108 Praise. Okay. And I'm so excited to have me back on air, the founder of the Flavor AIDE radio show. And that was our journey for the Flavor AIDE radio show. And basically, while I'm here, is to talk about and to help people heal internally. A lot of people always talk about the guests on the show and interviewing them and what they're doing. And we're going to do that today with you both. But at the same time, we also want to interview people and ask them what do they feel they need to work on. And, to give them that chance to say, you know what, I've accepted this. This is what I'm struggling with. And I know why I'm struggling with this. But I need my inner healing. because we can sit on 100 platforms and get interviewed, but we still leave those platforms hurting. We still leave hurting. We just have an interview. We just got interviewed, but we go home hurting. We come in hurting.
Right.
But Flavore AIDE is, like I said, different flavors, different Gatorade. So we want to be and continue to set that light as a life changer for Flavore AIDE. Yeah.
That's
So
a nice testimony.
yeah. So that's how we got here, ladies. That's how we got here. So the interview our guest today, we are going to interview Keena C. And Janet Montgomery first, and then later on we're going to add a few things. And then it's Christmas. We're going to go home. It's Christmas weekend, so we still have some shopping to do. And then we're going to the mountains with my family.
Yay.
They're here, and I'm excited to see everybody. I think my dad he's more excited than everybody. He done got his fresh haircut. Let me tell you, all my daddy hair is white.
Oh, wow.
And yes, honey. Every time I talk to him on the phone, he go to preaching. I'm like, Lord have mercy. That's a lot of work.
too.
Yes, I'm like, Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. And sometimes I get the phone like this. I go, should I call him? I ain't in the mood to hear no preaching today, no wisdom today. But then the Holy Spirit will convict me.
Exactly.
And say, you never know, this might be your last time talking to your daddy. So I just pick up the phone and say, hey, daddy. And I just listen to it. And, they mean well.
They do.
They mean well. So, yeah. But we're going to go to a commercial in a little bit just to get a little break and, set the tone. We got tea on stage. We got us some water and we got some mints and some butterscotch. So that's what we're going to do at the time. Right now, we're just going to take a little break with some Christmas songs and some other little gospel songs that's coming on and just relax a little bit. So before we break, we will let you know some more things going on. For the next half, we have our artist that we're going to be interviewing, Miss Keena C. And then we have Miss Janet Montgomery. We're going to talk about what's going on in her life. And we're just going to relax. We're going to let it flow. So right now, we're just going to go to a small break. And if you want to call in to discuss anything or just give shout-outs to our new show, the call-in number is 678-528-9482. Again, that number is 678-528-9482. And we will be right back in just a few moments. Again, you are listening to the Flavore AIDE radio show, a.k.a. Lady Keesha, on 108praise.com.
a loving, it's not just about receiving. Even though I'm gonna reap all of the benefits. Now serving, I never quit. Like hammer, I'm too legit. As I look up at the sky, the breeze blow across my face. I gaze up at the stars, then I think about His grace. Never take it for granted. His love is so in the world, it just can't stand it. Got the devil in a panic. So copacetic, I got the urge and I can't let it go. To praise Him at our time, man, that is so critical. The Redeemer of my soul, my God is so incredible. Without a doubt, I gotta give Him praise. Here I go.
24 hours a day, the Lord God has made a way. 24 hours a day, and now I gotta give Him praise. 24 hours a day, the Lord God has made a way. 24 hours a day, and now I gotta give Him praise. Come on, come on, come on and clap your hands. Come on, come on, come on and do your dance. You dance, you dance and praise Him 24 hours. Come on, come on, come on and clap your hands. Come on, come on, come on and do your dance. You dance, you dance and praise Him 24 hours. Made a decision the other day to put sin aside and to come your way. You have so many blessings to offer me. Sometimes I am blind and I cannot see that you are.
All right, all right, all right. We are back in Radio World. I don't know to say Radio World or Radio Land. But we are back. You are listening to Lady Keesha on the Flavore AIDE radio show on 108 Praise Radio. And I'm telling you, it's been phenomenal already, you guys. We've only been, doing it for about, 15 minutes? And it's just, like we said during the break, the energy of people. When we have people around us with the right energy and good vibes and things, it makes things just flow so smoothly. And y'all ain't even talked yet. And the energy is so good. So I just want to recap what we did a little bit in the first half, the first quarter. And then we'll go from there and introduce our guests. We basically just introduced the Flavore AIDE team, and as far as the song, and we'll listen to the artist in a minute, and then introduce her, and then the journey of Flavore AIDE. That was a journey. And you were saying something during the break about the actual journey of Flavore AIDE. And what was that, Miss Keena?
I like the fact that you said it's like a combination of things, and I love that it's the fact that it gives people a platform to actually heal.
Right.
Because you said, people come in with
Yeah,
different things.
with different things going on in their lives. Yeah, they
and-
do. They
and
do.
That's a platform for them.
And
I
you were
love
saying
that.
you were saying something, Miss Janet, too, about the blessings and things like that.
Right, you had mentioned that your
Obedience.
plan was to come back to Atlanta and do your thing.
Right.
But there are other people that are waiting on you or your blessing.
Right,
They're
right.
riding on your glory. You know what I mean? That somebody need to get saved from what you're doing.
And that is- ooh,
that's
powerful.
sometimes we don't feel like it.
Right.
But God's will is God's will.
Right, right.
And we have to do it.
We have to adhere
Yeah.
to it. And if we don't, I'll tell y'all both, he will beat our butts. I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
I'm talking
I
about
want
Oh my
to.
a
goodness.
man-made beating ain't nothing
Okay.
compared to our daddy whooping.
No.
When he said in his scripture, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, I will repay.
Yes.
Good God.
Because
And that's-
God is love.
Yes, he
but
is.
It will also get on you.
He will
too.
get on you quick, but hey, that's what daddy do.
Yes,
that's our daddy.
yes,
That's daddy.
yes,
So
yes.
I totally get it. So you guys have heard and seen a little bit of Keena and Janet. So we're gonna introduce them. And my very, very first special guest of my kickoff debut show in Atlanta is Miss Keena C.
Hi.
Yes, baby girl. Hi. And one thing about Keena, I love her humbleness. I met Keena. How did we meet Keena? We met
At a mixer.
at a mixer.
At
Was it a
Nancy's
mixer?
Pizza.
Okay.
Nancy's
Okay.
Pizza?
Was it Nancy's Pizza?
Yeah. Midtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we met. Okay. But when I tell y'all, this lady can sing. She can sing, and she has such a pleasant voice when she sings, and it's like she sings from her soul. There's a difference when you just get somebody up there just doing whatever, and this and
Right.
that. You know how they say in
Right.
church, a person can sing, they can sing, but then they can sing being anointed.
Yeah.
It's a totally different when
It
you
definitely
sing
is.
under the anointing.
Yes, it is.
So when Keena sings, and her voice is just so soft and just so, but it's like she lures you into her
Yes.
voice, and I'm like, oh,
sweet.
right, it has a sweet sound.
Yeah.
So with that, she actually is the voice on the show that you guys heard when the Flavor AIDE show came on. And she'll be the voice that you hear when we exit the show. So I had to have her on there, Miss Keena C. So, Keena, I basically want to ask you a few questions, if you allow me to. How long have you been in business with singing and all of that?
A long time. So,
Yeah.
over 10 years, definitely.
Okay.
Since
And
10.
10 years, not to cut you off, but 10 years is the number of longevity.
Yes.
So with that,
Yes.
the next 10 years is going to be a totally different season for
Amen.
you.
Yeah, I
That was
receive
just the
that.
decade, the start point of where
Yes.
you're getting ready to go.
I receive
That was
it.
learning, a transitional point, the process, and we hate the process. Lord
Oh
knows
my
we hate
gosh.
the sleepless nights in the studio and calling in, trying to scrape up money and dealing with this producer that ain't no good and this one thinking they that and all this type of stuff. I mean, your testimony, I know.
Yes, that is
So now you're transitioning over to longevity.
it.
Wow.
So that's good.
I like
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Amen. I receive that. But, yeah, it's been over 10 years, and like you took the words right out of my mouth. We have dealt with all of that.
Wow.
So that's definitely part of it. And sometimes I want to quit, but it's like something in me I can't.
Right,
I
right.
just can't. You won't let me quit. So, and I love music. It's my passion. So without music, I feel that I'm not gonna say I'm not nothing, but it's definitely not. I'm not fulfilled, or I don't feel I'm living my purpose.
Yeah, yeah. But you got so much to, do and so many places to go.
Right.
Sometimes when we get to the point to where, things are becoming repetitious for us. I've sang here, I've sang there, I've did this, I've did that. It becomes so, not boring, but what's next?
Right.
What do we actually got going on next?
Right.
So I get it. I
Yeah.
get where you're at. But
Right.
honey, there's a whole lot of next. There's a whole lot of next. So with that, how did you actually become, a singer? How did you become an artist? What led you to do that?
Okay, so like my story is really, really different. I was, of course, like you, grew up in the church.
Right, right.
And I used to be on the usher board. I was a junior usher.
A usher. Girl, I'm laughing because I was an usher too. The ushers back home, they're old. So I'm like, Lord have mercy, these ushers, and they got me ushering. I ain't mean to do that, but
No, that's fine because I was just trying to find something to do. They keep the kids busy. You got to do something like you gonna sing.
Right,
or
yeah.
So I was like,
Okay.
I'll just be an usher. Just leave me alone. Be an usher.
yeah.
So I was an usher, but the church that I went to, the choir was just amazing. They were amazing. So I used to just love to go to hear them sing.
Yeah.
Concerts or whatever. They was just amazing.
Remember back in the day, they had the choirs on parade and
Yes.
choir competitions and this and that. I miss those days.
And that's how they were.
I miss those days.
They were
Yes.
good. And
Yeah.
so one Sunday they sang this song. This one lady, it was her and her sister. They used to always sing the majority of songs. And so she sung this song, "Having You There." I don't know if you remember that.
Probably if I heard it.
By
Makes a difference.
I can't remember who the artist is. But anyway, I was like, oh my God, I love this song. So I was just singing it. And so I went home and I decided I was just going to, sing the song or whatever. And when I actually listened to myself, I was like, wait, is that me? You know, you hear yourself sing.
You were
I was like-
amazed.
I was
She
like,
was
what?
amazed.
I was like, that is not me. And I was like, wait, maybe
Right.
I'm just, tripping or whatever. So I went to my mom. I was
You
like,
weren't
Mama,
tripping.
listen to this. And my mom was like, girl, you can sing.
Oh, that is something.
Hey,
Yeah.
what? I was like, wait a minute. So my cousin, she went to a performing arts high school, which you have to be good.
You have to be for
gotta
performing arts,
audition
right,
and all that
right,
stuff.
yeah.
So she's like, well, let's just let your cousin, listen to you because this will really verify if
Right.
we both
Yeah.
not crazy.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my cousin, and she was just like, yes, you can sing. And she's like, I'm going to tell the pastor to let you sing because I was let the youth sing on a youth Sunday.
Right. You Sunday.
She was like, so you're going to go up there and sing on youth Sunday, they going to let you sing. So I was sitting in the audience, and so the pastor called me up. He was like, we're going to let, our youth sing. We're going to let Keena come up. So I walk up. So, they all like clapping, like the baby coming up.
Yeah.
So when I get up there, I had not practiced with this choir or anything. She just
Wow.
told them, because they just think it's like a kid.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, they played a little song, whatever, and then the choir like, we have come. And then I just started
Yes.
singing, and it was just like, I was sounding just like the record.
Wow.
It was
That's big for a little
crazy.
girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like looking at me and like just shocked.
Wow.
And just from there, I just
Took
been
off. That was your
singing.
moment. That was
my
your moment. And as you're talking, Keena, that reminds me of the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? When Tina was little, Adame, when she was little in the choir,
Right.
and she just was singing and singing. Her, I think that was the choir director, her aunt, or somebody just pulled her out. That she just fell in love with her voice when she realized that she can sing. Her aunt had to get her out of there, and as she was walking her out of there, she still was singing.
Yes. Yep.
So that reminded me actually of that moment.
That's what happened.
That's dope.
Crazy.
That's
I had
good.
no idea.
Yeah.
None.
Wow.
I just thought I was a little usher.
Yeah. And we have to remember when God sets it up like that,
All right.
it starts with a story.
Right.
It starts with a story, then it turns into a testimony.
Right.
And that's the next question I have for you. What are some of the challenges that you faced thus far? Because I know in 10 years,
Yeah.
you faced some challenges.
I have faced a lot of challenges, as you stated, like financial challenges, because it's very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Recording and
Yeah.
production, all of that is very expensive. So that's some of the challenges, and also I have faced challenges with working with certain people, and they have different
Yeah.
things that they may want you to do to get whatever it is, and I'm like, no, I'm not conforming to
exactly.
that.
That's right.
I
I don't know what is wrong with that. They think that in some, but you know what? It's so
Right.
funny because some people will do that. They
And
will
they
do that.
will.
Yeah.
They feel like they'll climb their way up to the ladder easily
Yeah.
like that. But it comes with thing. And I'll tell people quick, in the entertainment business. Or in any type of business where it's a broad name, word travels and it's so fast.
Yes.
Even with keeping yourself up or who to work with, people will say all the time, Keesha Rivers, work with her, she tough. Or they'll say, Keesha Rivers, work with her, she don't play. But that is okay now. It used to bother me, but it's okay because at least they're not saying she slept with this one, she slept with
Exactly.
In the
Right.
whole 10 years, can't nobody say
Right.
that.
Exactly.
Not one person.
Yes.
And I'm so blessed because, like you said, challenges come, but it's a story, and the outcome of that story is nothing but God's grace.
Exactly. It is. It is. So, yep, definitely that.
Wow. So with that, after that, moving forward, when you begin to see challenges, did it deter you from continuing to be a singer? Or what? It didn't? It made you stand in there? That's good.
Yeah, it made me
That's
still
good.
want to just press through. And then I'm the type of person, I don't give up anyway. I'm not
That's
a
right.
quitter.
That's
So
right.
I'd be like, well, okay, well, you want to do it this way. Well, let me just find somebody else.
I know that's
You know?
right. Keep the
You know,
look
just
next.
keep pushing on.
Keep
Yeah.
it moving.
You know?
Next.
So that's what I did. And then, like, recently, I was praying, and I was like, I need to work with somebody. And I was like, you know what? Janet.
Yes.
I was like, I
Yes.
need to find another girl.
Right.
Because I don't have to deal with all of
Right.
that craziness.
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Exactly.
So I was
Exactly.
like, let me call Janet and see what she's doing. And she was like, girl, yeah. I was like, hallelujah, thank you. I'm like, yes, I can work with
That's
her.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And God will do that when it's His vision. He
Right.
will always add that provision.
Yeah.
And it comes from, the north, the south, the east, the west. And sometimes we try to hold on to family, hold on to friends we've known for 20 years, and hold on to co-workers on this side of the job and building
Right.
A, and don't want to meet nobody in building B because they don't act like building A. And we can miss our blessings like that,
Right.
because
Right.
people don't look like us. People don't act like us. People don't talk or think. But like I said, when God gives us that vision,
Right.
He adds that provision. So I'm glad you mentioned Janet, because we're going to talk to Janet in a little bit. And I'm excited to talk. I've heard a lot about you, so I'm excited to talk to you. Yes, ma'am. So moving on. Even on your journey with all that, what are some of the most memorable moments? Like some good times and that, some CD recording, just different things you just clearly flat out remember on your journey.
Okay, so one that is the most recent is last year I did this, I don't know, it's called like a showcase or whatever, but it was for Flavore Radio. They had like a competition.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going, because I had no intentions of doing anything, just basically just getting out there, trying to, network and just, meet other people, whatever. And I didn't even really look at it as a competition or anything.
Right, right.
I was
Yeah.
just there.
Yeah, for the
So-
passion of it, yeah.
Right. And so anyway, I went up and it was like some amazing singers. Like They were just hitting notes like all of them. I was like, wow, like that person is really good,
Right.
you know. So anyway, when it was like the end of the show, and I had a headache, mind you, I had a migraine. Like my head was banging, like I couldn't even really focus. I
Right.
was like tired, and,
Oh, my
and I was
goodness.
just there. And so
Wow.
when it was like done, they was like, you know, we have, what did they say? We have like a two-way tie, and then we have one winner or whatever. And so I knew it was these little boys, they was singing or whatever, and I already knew. I was like, oh, you know, people, they love kids.
Yes,
so I was like,
you know them kids,
I was
they'll
like, you
come out for
can't
them
compete
kids.
with kids.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I already know. So
Yeah.
when they said the kids, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, let me go because my head is hurting.
Right.
And as soon as I get ready to go, they was like, Keena, and she's the winner up. I was like, what?
Wow.
And people was like looking at me. They was like, go up there. I was like, what? How did I win? I was
Right.
like, it's crazy. Like, it's people singing circles around me, you
Right.
know? And they was just like, no. They were like, you were so good. And I was like, really?
Wow. Wow.
So that was just amazing to me. And I was like, that had to be God, because when I was singing, my head was hurt. I have no idea what I was doing. I just basically just, you know, told God to just, you know, use me as a vessel.
And he will.
And that was just it. So,
And you
that
know,
was
when you
amazing.
were talking, the Holy Spirit said, you know how people would say he'll be a lawyer in the courtroom, a
Yes.
doctor in the sick room and all that.
Yes.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
You know, we came in one way and
Right.
walked out a winner. That ain't
Yeah.
nobody but God. That
Right.
ain't nobody but God. So
Amazing.
the obedience came out of that when you showed up,
Exactly.
despite all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you with that memorable moment with that. So moving on, Miss Keena, what advice would you give your listening audience when it comes to just not giving up? And I heard you say that earlier, and that's so inspiring because when a person has a spirit not to give up, they've been through some things. They've gone through some things, and that word sticks with me now, called determination.
Yes.
And it's for a reason.
Yes.
So what advice would you give your listening audience that may have a path like you, or that's on a path like you, or they don't even know, but they may end up on a path like you with facing certain things?
I would just tell you to just keep going and just never give up, because as soon as it seems like as soon as you think that it's over, it's not. That would have been like your breaking point.
Yes.
And that to me is the difference between those who succeed and those who not, who don't. It's that they just kept going, no
Right,
matter
right.
what the obstacle was. Even if they had to start back at square one, they just kept going. They kept pushing.
Right, right.
And just them pushing in their determination, it basically just opened the door for them.
Wow.
To me. So I would tell them to just keep going,
going.
and, you know,
Yeah, keep
pray to
going.
God and just trust Him, because He already knows what it is. He
Yes.
just wants to see if you're going to do the work.
Right,
If you're going
right.
to have that faith
right,
to keep
right.
going.
Exactly. Well, that's good wisdom, Keena. So right now, before we go on, we do have a caller, y'all. We have our first caller for our first new show. So we're going to take the call. I think we have to put on the headphones. We're going to take the call. I'm excited to see to hear who this is that's calling in. Caller, are you there? Hello, caller.
Yes.
Hi, this is
Yes,
our
hi.
first call for the Lady Keesha's Flavor AIDE radio show on 108 Praise. And who is this?
This is Wendy.
Oh, Miss Wendy, you are our first caller.
Hi, Keesha.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I'm excited.
Thank you for calling in.
Well, I just want to tell you congratulations and tell you that I love you.
Thank
And
you.
I'm very proud of you.
Yes.
And I want all of you all to have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And I think that your 2019 is going to be 100 times better than 2018.
All right now. I'm looking. Look, I received that.
Amen.
I receive it. Thank you so much, Mama Wendy. You know, you guys, Mama Wendy is special to me. We met, and it was so divine. We
Yes,
met
and
there.
I said I had to keep trying to call you
Yes.
because I love you, and I wanted you to make sure that you know that I support you all the way.
Yes, thank you so much, Mama Wendy. I'm going to share with them how we met. It was so divine, you all.
Yes.
We were VIP guests for the Orlando Magic opening, something they had like a private event, and we were just standing in line, you know, just talking, just waiting to get in. And her and her family were, you know, we were all together in line, and we just started taking pictures and, you know, posting for social media. You know how we get when we somewhere, you know, we think we cute, we somewhere, you know, posting.
Right.
And from there, that divine connection just opened the door. And she's became like mama to me. You know, we don't see each other much because she lives in Florida and I'm here in the ATL. But you know, when you haven't talked to a person, you could just pick right on up where y'all left off. That's how you know it's divine.
Right.
So thank you, Mama. I
Yes,
love
that's
you.
true.
You're our first caller.
Thank
you
you,
know,
guys. I love you.
yes, you know, this is our recording
Yeah,
show, but next,
look, I'm number one.
yeah. So we
Number
will.
one. I'm excited. Number one.
Yes, we will give you a shout out and happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas.
Yes, and I heard y'all talking about joy, and I was saying to myself, don't ever let anyone ever steal your joy.
Yes.
You-
Amen.
they
Amen.
and they will try.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will. So thank you. I
Look,
told y'all
even
she
in your
mama.
darkest hour. Yeah, even in your darkest hour, joy comes in the morning.
That's right. That's right.
Just remember that.
That's right.
So y'all have a blessed day.
You
Thank
too.
you, Mama. I love you. We'll chat soon.
Love you, sugar.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. See, when you have all that good energy around you and that, like she said, that joyness that fills your heart, I could walk away now happy, you know, because I done talked to Mama Wendy. She was our first caller, so that's going to be special, you know, to me. So we left off with you, you know, talking about some different things about your, some advice you were giving to your listening audience.
Yes.
And that was very important. And what you said from that, it was so important and profound when you said, just trust God, have faith in God, and do not give up, you know, with that. Because, and I tell people all the time, if you don't believe in God, I don't, and what bothers me is when people say the universe. Who you think created the universe?
Right.
I hate when they
Or
say
science.
that.
God
Right.
is science.
Exactly. So with that, I love how you said, just you gotta keep God first. You know, I get so busy with events and just different things I got going on, speaking engagements, all kind of stuff, honor, just all kind of stuff. But the Holy Spirit will convict my tail, y'all, and I have to go in the bathroom or ride down the road or on my way to work. You know, I talk to God like he my homeboy. I'm like, look, I'm tired. I'm sorry I ain't talked to you this week, but I'm tired. And he'll speak to me and say, but I've taken care of you always.
Exactly.
I don't care if it's 2 seconds. You can say just thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Daddy.
That's right.
And that prayer is so big
Right.
to a prayer that's 40 minutes.
Exactly.
It still means the same,
Amen.
you know, because it was the intent was good, the heart was
That's
good,
right.
and Daddy received it just like that.
Exactly.
So with that, Miss Keena, I love that. That was so profound. And anything, you know, like I said, the Flavor AIDE is a little different. Our show's a little different, so I include myself, you know, and I always want to remain humble no matter how far God take me. I always want to remain humble because I know and I remember my journey that took me here. So with that, I always want to try to include a little something that you guys may want to ask me because we may leave here. I may not talk to you for 2-3 more months.
Right.
And I may not, well, I ain't gonna say ever see you again,
no.
you know, because
That's not
we
like
met over there,
Yeah.
you know, getting the show together, and I'm
Right.
like, this my cousin right
That's
here,
right.
you know.
That's right.
We talking about the mountains and what we getting ready to do, and just blending on in. But the point I'm trying to make is we might not see each other for a while, but we always have to remember at the end of the day, we still have to remain humble. So
Exactly.
I'm never gonna get too big to where I just can't include myself, you know.
Right.
So with our show, I want to know, is there anything you want to ask me about, you know, my business or Flavor AIDE or what have you with that?
Yeah, I do want to ask you, how long have you had your business and what kees you going? Because I know that you face challenges too in your
Yeah.
business. So how do you keep going and build? Because I see you on Facebook.
Yes.
I see you on Facebook.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, like
Oh.
how do you do that? Like,
Yeah. And you know what? It's so funny because we were just talking earlier about that. Just grace.
yeah.
Grace
Right.
and patience.
Right.
You know. So Flavor has been in existence for 10 years. We just celebrated our 10-year in October. Actually, we're getting ready to go into our 11th year. March the 28th will be 11 years, but we didn't celebrate until the end of the year.
Okay.
You know, finances and all that stuff. You know, you
Right.
got to, when you paying out your pocket and stuff, you got to make do what do. So we had to wait.
Right.
But what got me started was I've always been talented coming up, but when I was 8, my chorus teacher, she wanted me to try out for a concert, a concert choir that we put together. So I said, okay, well, I'll try out, kind of like your little story or
Right.
whatever. Try it out. And I knew I was doing good, y'all. I knew I was doing because she was over there tapping the keys and getting happy. And as she was tapping, I was getting happy. I'm like, oh, Miss Keating is happy.
Right.
So with Miss Mary Keating, she not only put me in the choir, I was first leader of the song, and then she added a additional part for me that she created in the song. And then from there, I just started being involved with chorus, with show choirs,
Right.
and then I found that I had a musical ear with playing instruments, so I do play the clarinet.
Okay.
And then my mom tried to get us to do piano lessons, but found out the lady that was teaching us had us picking up pecans in her yard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, literally. So my mom was like, I'm out with that.
Right.
No, my money not going to y'all picking no pecans up.
Wow.
So I just stayed focused in band, and then found out when I was in band with the clarinet, I wanted to do more. So with that, when you're visionaries, you're always doing more. It's more. So my band director, he approached me about being drum major, and I'm like, okay, what's a drum major? I'm thinking drums,
Right.
the lead of the drums. So he was like, no, I want you to pay attention to these two up here when you guys have different concerts and different things like that with football. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know about that. But I was like, you know what, to get out my mama and them house, I'm going to do it, because, but your father being a pastor, your mama being a nurse, they always gone doing things.
Right.
I don't want to be doing all that all the time. So I said, you know what, I will. Try it out, high school, made drum major, tried out again, made drum major. My senior year, made drum major again. So the love of all of that
Right. I
led
wanna see
to
some of them
just...
tapes.
Yeah, I know. Girl, I'm gonna look back from them tapes in the 90s. I'm like, oh, the hairstyles, the boots we had to wear. I still am traumatized by those white boots that my band director had us wear. Girl, them boots was crazy. So it just led to, different things that I knew I was involved in as a child. And in my adult years, I did become distracted by my own self challenges with different, relationships and
Yeah.
heartaches, and then betrayal by friends. Just life gets in the way. But when I tell y'all, when God instills that very vision in you, it ain't nothing or nobody that can stop what God has ordained.
That's right.
And I didn't know that being a child, that He had already was starting on me as a child.
Right.
So when I said earlier about you just meet people, you pick up where you left off.
Right.
When the vision came to me, it was like God just picked up where He left off. And things just began to add,
That's
different
encouraging.
businesses begin to
Right.
add. We have the KR Consulting business that
Right.
I give small consultations for business owners, not to just start a business, but how to maintain that business, because everybody see the business is so pretty, but they don't know behind closed doors what really go on in that business, So we do that. Then of course we have the Flavore Radio show. We gave the story earlier about that, the testimony about that, how we allow other radio hosts that have the desire to host to become a part of our show, and they have their own show. And then we have our up-and-coming models, our up-and-coming artists that we have. They travel with us when we do showcases and everything like that. So that is a bit of Flavor, and that's how long we've been in business, for about 10 years.
I love it. I love
But
it.
there's also a side that I'm so passionate about, and that is giving back to the community. We were very involved with the late Trayvon Martin with all of his rallies. We attended every last one of his rallies, and I was so blessed to meet the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King's, all of his kids. I met those kids, Michael Basin. I met the Reverend Jesse how could I forget that? The Reverend Jesse I actually had a conversation with him.
Wow.
So it was just a phenomenal time during that, and then meeting other people political-wise. I was able to go to the second inauguration of President Obama under another leader there, and we just all took a bus no, not the bus, I'm sorry, the train. And then we went on a boat ride and just watched it, in our own reserve room, and it was just so nice. So, yeah, I picked up where I left off.
Well, that's good.
Yep,
I love it.
yep. So, with that, we're going to end with you, Keena, for right now. But before we do, I want to ask you one thing. How can they reach you? How could they reach you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can be reached on all social media platforms at Keena C Music, and that is KENA CMUSIC. So
Yes.
all social media platforms.
All right. I love her, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this chick right here, she bad. And y'all gonna listen to her song in a few, and we almost getting ready to go. But right now, we have our second caller. We got another caller, y'all. Look, we doing it, y'all. Look, we think we doing it now. We got our little hair done, and we finna put on our little headphones and stuff. So
Hello.
we're gonna see who's on the air. This is Keesha, Lady Keesha on 108 Praise. Who do we have on the air?
This is Mama Juju.
Mama Juju. Look, all my mamas calling today, y'all. Look, you know how when God set it up, he get the family, the heads first. The mamas call, and
Right.
everybody else call. How you doing, Mama Juju? Thank you for calling in.
I am wonderful, darling. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. Today we have our kickoff show with the Flavore AIDE radio show here at 108 Praise. We just having a phenomenal time here with our artists in the
Well,
studio and our guests.
wonderful, because we
Yes.
sure had a great time last night.
Yes, we did. We did to end the year. We phenomenal. We really did. And I want to appreciate you for just always showing love to the industry, but especially me as being one of your industry daughters. I really appreciate you. I'm so grateful and honored to have you in this season of my life. It's like when Mama
Yeah.
Juju, when she step in the room, she gonna step. She
Really?
gonna be classic, global. She's an ambassador, honey. Yes. So I love you. You are a lady of class, and you are the life of the party.
All right. Well, I love you more. It just does my heart good. You know, I never had any children, and for somebody to consider me, you know, like the names they call me, Mama Judy, you just don't know how much that means to me. It feels that, I guess, that hole, that void that I had within me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I love all of you, especially you. You're such a phenomenal person.
Oh, I love you too, Mama Juju.
Yeah, I hate to tell people that you might be one of my favorites. You know, that makes the others mad.
So we not gonna say that. We not gonna say that.
No, we're not going to say that. We're just going to keep it like it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
All right.
But I'm on my way out, but I just wanted you, you know, I kind of always tell you something encouraging,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you keep those people that encourage, motivate, inspire you close to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll do.
And you always do that. I know you do, by some of the people, your friends and stuff that you have introduced me to. I can see that.
Yes, ma'am.
So just continue, and may God just continue to bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. I love you. I want you to enjoy your
Okay.
Christmas.
I love you too, darling, and you have a
Okay.
great show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 Oh, my mothers. Let me tell y'all part of my little testimony with that. You know, well, the world knows now, because with my book, my very first book, Mama, They Didn't Mean It, I talk about how a part of my life I am adopted. But God still gave me grace, because my aunt and my uncle, who I do consider my mother and my father, they legally adopted me. So with that, my birth mother, she's in my life. We're close. We're really close. We talk all the time, you know, every week or whatever. But I look at how God has blessed me with spiritual moms also. My mother and my biological mother, both of them live in different states. And I live here in the ATL. But look how God bless those same type of mothers with that spirit that my mothers have.
Yeah.
So he will do it.
Yes.
He will do
He
it.
will
He will do
abundantly
it.
bless.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
So we left off with Miss Keena giving her location or where they can find you on social media. But I want you to repeat that again in case somebody wasn't tuned in or something happened with the internet, you know, something like that. So where could they find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and my website. It's Keena C Music, and that is KENACMUSIC. So just look me up, reach out to me. I love to talk to people. Like Keesha, I like to meet new people. So
Yes,
definitely
yes.
follow me. I'll follow you back. And I'm one of those people, I will follow you
Right.
back. Okay, because a lot of people, they don't follow you back. I don't understand that
But
whole
you-
thing. But
And you know what I'm running into? They'll like, especially on Instagram, they'll follow you,
And then
but then they want
unfollow.
you to they want you to follow them, and then they unfollow you. I'm like,
Yes.
you go devil you. I'm gonna unfollow you.
Exactly. Let me
So-
check my unfollows out.
Okay.
Because I was being
honey.
genuine with you. I'm thinking you're being genuine
Genuine
with
with me. No. So, Miss Keena, well, I am so glad, Miss Keena, to have you as one of my first guests. My first guest, along with Miss Jenny here in the studio. It meant so much to me because you are the voice of the Flavor AIDE radio show on 108praiseradio.com. So, I just really, really thank you for taking your time out of your schedule, to be a part of our very, very first show. It really meant a lot. And I said this show was going to be dedicated to everybody here that was a part that is, told me about 108 Praise Radio, that sold their time and energy into all of that. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
so
for thinking of me.
you're welcome, baby. So right now we're going to go into another break. Yes, y'all, we do like the break now. We got a bathroom, re-up on some tea, whatever we got to do, get a little pretty, freshen up, whatever. But when we come back, we have another special guest. That's Miss Janet Montgomery. We're gonna talk to her when we get back because I'm curious about Miss Janet. She walked in here all cute and everything, y'all, and told me how she going to the mountains for the holidays. And I already feel like she my cousin. So when we get back from our break, then we're gonna talk to Miss Janet Montgomery. So we will be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are listening to 108praiseradio.com with Lady K on the Flavor AIDE radio show.
Hey, you know you don't mess up, don't you? What you talking about? You know you don't mess up. I don't know. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay. See this right here? Yeah. See all that? See the dude?
I don't know who this is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Okay. So what you in it for?
See, I be trying to do everything right, but they won't get up and get turned for me. They won't get up and dance for me. They won't get up and do nothing. They won't support me, but they'll support that other crew. They'll get up and get turned for that other crew. They don't buy my music, but they'll buy that other crew music. Man, listen to my lyrics. What you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory. What you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory. What you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory. I'm so sick and tired of y'all Christian rapper time. Let's unite. Then when it's wartime, ain't none of y'all unequipped to fight. You say you ride for Christ, you say you die for Christ, but you can't even check your own clip. That girl right there's a dyke, and you got so hurt by the church that you won't you that gift, but you acting like it is yours. What you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory, what you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory, what you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you in it for?
Hey, you know you don't messed up, don't you? What you talking about? You know you don't messed up. I don't know. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Okay. See this right here? Yeah. See all that? See the dude?
I don't know who this is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Okay. So what you in it for?
See, I be trying to do everything right, but they won't get up and get turned for me. They won't get up and dance for me. They won't get up and do nothing. They won't support me, but they'll support that other crew. They'll get up and get turned for that other crew. They don't buy my music, but they'll buy that other crew music. Man, listen to my lyrics. What you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory, what you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory, what you really in it for? What you really in it for? What you really in it for? I think fame, what you glory. I'm so sick and tired of y'all Christian rapper time out, let's unite. Then when it's wartime, ain't none of y'all equipped to fight. You say you ride for Christ, you say you die for Christ, but you can't even check your own clip. That girl right there's a dyke, and you got so hurt by the church that you.
All right, y'all, we are back. I cannot believe we have done an hour already. I told y'all in radio world it's quick. And you have tuned in. We are back, you guys, on 108praiseradio.com. You are listening to the amazing, yes, I am amazing. You guys are amazing too. Lady Keesha. On Flavore AIDE radio show. On the first half, we talked about the journey of the Flavore AIDE radio show and how we became, a part, and the visionary was myself, but how we branched out. We talked about that. We talked to Miss Keena C, our artist. She's the voice of the intro of the song as well as the exit of our radio show. So it was an honor to interview her. She talked about some challenges she's had. She talked about some success that she remembers, different things like that. So we'll talk to her right before we leave again, and you guys can follow her when she gives her information again. So we were so blessed to have you on the first half, Miss Keena, and I'm telling you, like I told her, and we're going to talk to Miss Janet, you have to support who supports you. Even if just acknowledging them, listening to their story, somebody out there needs to listen to their story, because guess what? They may be going through the same thing. You just never know. And like you said earlier, Miss Jenny, we're going to shift to you. You never know who needs that. And while I'm being disobedient, or who somebody's being disobedient, God's going to get me for being disobedient, because that assignment was to help somebody else.
That's right.
So with that, thank you, Miss Keena C. We'll be back to you in a minute. But baby, just chime in, if you feel like the Holy Spirit leading you, but you know what to do, honey, okay? So our next guest, she's actually a guest. I like to call them the duo. I've already given them a nickname. Miss Keena C's guest. And I just feel like I've known Janet. I feel like Janet is a long distance cousin. I really do. She came in and she looked like some of my cousins back home, and we with the eyes, girl, them cheek eyes. That's it. That is it. We both thick, honey, okay, thighs and all that. So we've already connected on that level. But I really wanted you to come today, and I'm so glad you came. Thank you, for sacrificing, because this is the pre-recorded show right before the holidays. This is Christmas weekend, so I'm glad to have you guys here. But with that being said, I do want to talk to you, and I want to get to know, and I want the radio world to get to know about Miss Janet Montgomery. I really do. So with that, Miss Montgomery, I want to know, how long have you been in business and what you've been doing with that for the length you've been in business?
I have been in the music business my entire life.
Wow.
Started at 11 years old, and it has been one journey after the next.
Yeah.
Most of it good. I remember learning how to play the piano with a friend of mine. Made up this little song on the piano, and
So you got a chance to play the piano while I'm picking up pecans.
Right,
and I can play.
yeah, that's my trade, piano. And we have similar testimonies. I have to tell you about that. When you were telling yours, I was like, oh, that sounds like me.
Oh my! See how God will put the divine together.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But anyway, I made up this little song on the piano. My mom heard me play, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you piano lessons." And from then on, I never stopped. And here I am, 21.
Look, we all got our magic numbers, and
And I'm still playing.
yes, it look like every year I turn another. I'm still 30. I'm still 30 every year. How are you? 30?
Right.
So that's amazing, Janet. That is amazing. And like I was telling Keena earlier, well, you as well, it always starts with a story,
Yes.
and then it just blossoms from there, and we go through some little trials. May get a little distracted because it is our story. Our story has to build. But in the end, God's grace is there. So I'm excited that you had your 21
Yes,
your years. But how did you become involved? I know you mentioned about your mom with the piano lessons and things like that. But was there any other way you became involved, or like what's up with all of that with the involvement and stuff?
Well, I always knew I had a knack for entertaining.
Okay. Yeah.
From a little girl
Yeah.
up. I used to perform in the basement,
Oh, wow.
And then I went to a church where music was a big deal. A lot of gospel artists came out of my church. The group Virtue.
Yep,
Take
Virtue.
Six.
Wow. Take Six, yes.
Some of their members. Yeah,
I love
they
Take
went there.
Six.
The girl
Okay.
that sings in Virtue, which is a female version of Take Six, we grew up together.
Wow.
Siobhan.
Okay.
So, and my piano teacher was at that church. The choir was always busy. I sang in the choir worship, and we stayed singing around the city. So I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But to get that grooming, it just was implanted in my spirit.
Right,
And then
right.
I went on to college and studied piano at Alabama State University. And when I came back home, I just got involved with the Atlanta music scene, which is where Keena and I met.
Yes.
And we performed all over the city, all over the Southeast together.
Wow.
And with other musicians in the city. And so that's how
How it really is.
that's how
Because
it
I knew
grew.
it was, we have our story, but I knew it had to be another
more.
nugget.
Yeah.
Then to be honest, Mama them gonna always think we could sing. We could sound like a bull of horns over there. They go,
Yes.
oh, my baby's the best one over there. But I knew it had to be a shift, with
Right,
something else. So
definitely.
I'm glad you really broke it down and gave us the really meat of it. Now, what are some of the challenges? We talked about that a little earlier, but with everybody having a story, what are some of the challenges you've seen so far on your journey?
Ooh, I tell you one thing. Being a female in this male-dominated industry,
Yes, we will
has
say
been
that.
the biggest challenge.
Yes.
I told you I play piano, I play in bands, I produce, I write music.
Yeah.
But just because you're a female, some people automatically assume that the talent is not there. And I am so offended by that because women can do just as well, if not better, sometimes.
Yes.
Because God has given me a gift, and who my gift is for whether it's for one person or and not the other.
Right.
Okay, God meant for me to minister to that
That's
one
right.
person.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
And my dad always says something about quantity over quality. You always want to do the quality versus the quantity. How many people in that room?
That's right.
Because you can have 500 people for an offering and you raise $20, but you get 20 people in that room, you're gonna raise $500. So we should always, and this is something I used to struggle with all the time. Where the people? But now on Facebook. I'll get maybe 6-7 likes on something, but my shows are sold out. And they've been sold out for years now.
Okay.
So that brings back to what you were saying earlier about all of that. So I like that. I like that. And then also, Janet, what are some of the most memorable moments? I know one. She told me. I was like,
Which
oh,
one?
when she told me, I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Uh-oh.
So what are some of the most memorable moments, yes, to that you would like to share the radio world on your journey so far?
I'm curious to the one that she touched.
Almost Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, that was memorable.
Wasn't that something?
Yes,
And
that was
I
a
think
great experience too.
Yes, I think we watched that a few weeks ago.
And you know
Almost
what's
Christmas.
funny? I always think about that. I had my own trailer for the whole day.
Wow.
But when I walked on the set, all of those celebrities from that movie was in the house, the house of the movie,
Wow.
and they were taking a break, so they were sitting down.
Yeah.
And one of the stage crew yelled, Janet Montgomery.
Oh,
And I'm
my
like,
goodness.
why is she yelling my name like that? and Elise Neal, wait, what's her name? Elise Neal, I think it is.
Kimberly Elise.
Kimberly Elise.
Yeah.
She said, who is she? I was like, a child of God.
I know that's right, honey. I know that's right.
But yeah, that was one. But I would have to say the most memorable one was I had a cruise gig overseas.
Okay. Wow.
And we were in Europe, in Italy.
She
Actually.
just said it so we were in
It
Europe.
was-
We were just in Europe.
Just Europe.
But we as musicians, we be everywhere.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
not like
Right.
I was working.
Let me get on the I'm in Europe.
Yeah. I'm like, I
Have
was
on my
working.
head the things and glasses. Yeah.
Right.
But I remember one day we had 6 shows a night.
Wow.
And this one was one day they actually gave us 2 days off. And I went into the chapel just to have some quiet time with God. And while I was there was a family that was there from London. And they were actually worshiping God and praying. And
Wow.
and the guy who was speaking was a pastor. He said, it's okay, you can join in with us. I was like, cool. So I'm sitting there, we're worshiping, and he just started prophesying into my life.
Wow.
Just prophesying. And he was like on point. And that was just I think that was more memorable for me than the music,
Right,
you know.
right.
And he and I and his family we stayed in contact, over the years. But just to be in another country in another
Yes.
situation and God found me.
To be profound
know,
at that moment.
yes.
That's how you know it was divine.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my goodness. And for you to
So-
say he was on point, that's how
Right
you
on
knew
point. He
that was a
spoke directly
confirmation
into my
right
life.
there. Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, so-
That's amazing. And I love how your most memorable was of God. You know what I mean? So that's really good. So with that, Janet, what advice would you give to the listening audience on that? Now you've been just like Keena all around, traveled all around, have met celebrities, and they were just from London. Oh, they're just in Europe. Been everywhere, done all of that, and you're still on. Y'all are still on y'all journey.
Yeah.
We still we
yeah.
still walking now. We
Oh,
still
yeah.
walking. But what advice would you give your listening audience thus far?
In terms of what you mean, like from
As
the
far
music?
as because you've done so much,
Oh.
so you can break it down however you want to break it
Oh,
down,
okay.
production wise or
Okay.
music wise.
I would just have to say keep pushing.
Yeah.
Never ever ever give up.
Yeah.
I always say to myself and to other people, it's not over until you're dead and gone. So why stop?
You
know
better
what I mean?
say that. You better say it.
So even if it doesn't look like, and I'm speaking to myself right now,
Yes.
even if it doesn't look like it's coming into fruition, there's something going on behind the scenes.
It is.
God is working things out
Yes,
the way it's
He
supposed
is.
to be.
Yes,
so if you
He
just
is.
keep pushing, there is no choice but for something to happen.
Right,
if you
right.
keep going,
Right.
but if you stop, you don't give it a chance.
Right,
But if you
right.
keep pushing, something is bound to happen.
Right, right.
So that would be my advice. Just
Right.
keep going.
That's amazing. And it makes me think about, not in this criminal way, but the movie Shawshank Redemption. Have y'all seen that with Morgan Freeman? Oh, it's so good. Well, anyway, the inmate, Andy Dufresne, that was his character name. He hid behind, he was convicted of something, it wasn't for real, all of that. But then he actually broke out of prison. But behind this pretty picture, he chiseled his way out of the I don't know if it was semen or whatever it was, but that remind me, you just said keep going. He kept chiseling. He kept chiseling. He had to walk through and get his way out of all kind of just mess. I don't want to say on air, but he got out and was very successful because he was innocent. But it made me think when you were saying keep going.
Yeah.
You got to keep going, chisel by chisel. Just
Yeah.
keep going. It's like the little engine that could. I think I can. I
Right.
think I can.
Right.
Then I think I can. It turns into I know I can. Then I know I can. It turns into I did.
Yes.
And I'm gonna continue to do. So I like that.
Yes.
I like that. So, I want you to ask me anything, you know, that you may want to ask me about my business or something. And like we were saying earlier in the first half, the show is, you know, about Flavore AIDE and our artists and testimonies and things like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I just always want to remain humble as being the host and the creator of the show. So I'm not too good for anybody to ask me what, you know, they got going on. We see a lot of people on air but don't know their story.
Right.
You know, I'm wondering, oh, they sound good on air. Oh, I like their show. But what is their journey? How could their journey inspire me? So is there anything you would like to ask me about me?
Obviously, you have a great personality. You're good at what you do. And success follows
You're good at what
I can
you
see
do.
that. Well, thank you.
You're like a natural, and so is Keena.
Thank you.
So yeah.
But I'm sure there are those moments where everything don't look good.
Right.
What do you do to lift yourself up, or what do you do to I guess if you have a mentor, to somebody to talk to, or even when the finances are low, to keep pushing in your, you know, your career. Like, what do you do to keep going?
Well, what I do is I talk to my daddy like he just my homeboy.
Okay.
Because I'm learning on this journey, and it's always been, you know, shifting back to being adopted. You feel like, even though, like I said, I come from a loving family, you know, all of that stuff, but I would never know how it really feels being in a home with both biological parents at the same time. So there's always been a void in me that I feel like I would never ever know.
Okay.
So I handle things a little different. I just feel like people won't understand me if I talk to them about this. People won't understand me. They'll look at me different, because when you're adopted, not saying everybody, but from my experience, it's like being an outcast. Like we don't know where we belong in life. We always are trying to figure out who we are, what club we supposed to be in, or who we need to identify with. So to piggyback off your question, I really have really believed in God.
Okay.
My daddy is a man of faith. He would always preach in his sermons Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. I used to fall asleep on the pews, listen to my dad and my mom, get out. But I'm like, he preaching the same thing. I mean, how many years, how many decades he gonna keep preaching this? But now, when I go through things, that scripture comes back to my ear. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. So my daddy really grew us up and taught us to really just depend on God. Because when you have people in your business, then before you know it, somebody else done told somebody else, and you think this person gonna tell this and that. Now I have my close inner circle, that's my inner, but even your inner circle, you have to be close with what they find out or what they know. And that's just what it is. We deal with different people according to different things. I've never had anybody in my circle where I just flat out told my business to. And that's something that we have to really dig in deep with business also. Just because you have an executive assistant, you have your personal, you have your core teams, you have this and that, does not mean they need to know who you are. This is the business side of things. Stick with the business, you know. So to answer your question, my Father first, who art in heaven, because and it took me so long to get that coming up. Growing up, yes, I did have my mentors. That actually, I didn't even know they were mentors, because back when I was growing up, I ain't gonna tell my age, I'll tell a little later. But we didn't have a word. I didn't even know there was a word called mentor. You know, we had mama, daddy, auntie, uncle. It took a village, you know. So at the time, I didn't know my grandmother, you know, was a mentor. I didn't know my mother that adopted me, I didn't know she was my mentor. And she would always tell me, Keesha, you way smarter than me. And now this lady got her PhD, worked in at a hospital for 30 years and retired as being the vice president of the Nurses Association. And I'm like, you think I'm smarter than you? You know. But I knew coming up, okay, I see what she mean, because she came from a GED from all that. She worked in the fields, cotton fields, you know, all of that stuff. We didn't have to do all of that. You know, thank God we didn't have to do all of that, what our ancestors went through. But that was to answer your question with that. To answer your question with that. So just have faith in God and just keep folks out your business. Even the ones that are close to you, keep them where they're supposed to be kept.
I hear that.
And that's that. Yeah. Okay. And thank you for asking me that, you know, because that allows the listening audience to know more about me as well. So moving on, Janet, how could they reach you? How could they reach you?
I am on Instagram as _Janet __ Keys. And I'm also on Facebook, Janet the Musician. where I have video and other ways of getting in contact with me.
Okay, sounds good. And you know, when y'all give these Instagrams and stuff like that, the underscore, the at, the this, the that, I'm like, everything is Keesha Rivers with me. I'm so country, and so I'm not savvy like that. So and you know, for the longest I had to find out what the underscore was. I'm like, y'all are
Just be playing with stuff.
Right, just be playing, don't even know what be going on. It sounds cute, but I'm like, under what? Huh? What?
Right.
So yeah, but I really love that. We're actually going to go to probably what's going to be our last commercial before we exit, and then we come back. I want you to reiterate where they can reach you, and then we're gonna go into a little holiday spirit and find out what each other doing for the holidays, and that's gonna be a wrap. For our first show. I really enjoyed you both today, so we'll be right back. You are tuning in the Flavor 8 Radio Show with Lady Keesha on 108praiseradio.com. We'll be right back.
Do you know why you're here?
Not really.
I've been watching you and your little hoodlum friends. You, Mr. J West.
It's actually a J South.
Duke G.
That's Luke G.
Young Moses.
It's actually young Noah. All right.
Saint Mary. Saint Mary. Saint Mary.
St. Clair.
See, every time I turn around, y'all getting blessed. Health, wealth, salvation. Yeah, I see it. You don't think I see it, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm not.
You don't think I see it?
I'm not exactly hiding.
Shut up.
Okay.
Look at you. Your conceited self. What kind of guy wears a shirt with himself on the front?
Oh, this is just my shirt promoting my album that comes out August 1st in all digital distribution and online outlets.
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll let you walk out of here right now. You just tell me who's to blame.
You want to know who's to blame for my blessings? Are you sure? All right, you asked.
Is this a joke?
I blame God for my blessings. Talking back, I blame God for my blessings. I blame God for my blessings. Okay, you should blame God for my blessings. I ain't hearing what these haters say. What you talking? Cause the devil's hating every day. I hear you talking. But God's already made a way. More than a conqueror. So I'ma praise him anyway. Yeah, I thank God for the house I got. That's your fault. I thank God for the spouse I got. She your fault. I praise God with my mouth a lot. Like this $100,000 time I'm about to draw. Oh, if it's good, you know he did it. You know he did it, right? If it's a blessing, then he.
All right. I'm sad, y'all. We are getting ready to end our first show on 108praiseradio.com. This is Lady Keesha on the Flavor 8 Radio Show, and we have had a phenomenal time. When you both agree, we've had a phenomenal time.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not been tuning in, you have missed an awesome show. We've had our amazing guest, Keena C. She is the artist. You will hear her voice at the end of the show. She's going to be our official voice for the Flavor 8 Radio Show on 108praiseradio.com. So listen out for her. She's going to reiterate where you can meet her before we end the show. But we left off with Miss Janet Montgomery. And you know what? We forgot to talk about the music part. Janet's been telling us about her journey as well. And, you know, I feel like I know another celebrity in the house. You know, Keena's already one. I feel like I know another one with you being on Almost Christmas with that experience. The movie Almost Christmas with Danny Glover, Kimberly Elise, Monique, the comedian. It was a very big movie. Did really good at the box office. And then just talking about your life journey and all of that and things. But the topic that we would like to talk, well, not topic, but I would like to talk about is how to reach you. And then before we do that, just talk a little bit more about your encounter with the music part. The advice that you would give the people who's into music. What advice would you give them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Keena and I came together. She asked me to. I have like a catalog of music that I just work on, and she said, "Hey, let's put together this song for the radio show." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds like a great idea." So I developed a song that was up tempo, contemporary, and then Keena put her lyrics to it, and her harmony, and we recorded it. Got it out the way, and that was that.
Yes.
But the advice I would say is, if it's something that you don't know, take some classes.
Yeah.
You know, Google it, YouTube it. Don't just sit around and wait for somebody to come get you. You go get it.
Right. That's good. I really like that advice.
Yeah. So you know, the more you learn, the more you
can grow.
Yeah.
You can grow.
Yeah. Because if you don't know, you won't do it.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Just if you're wanting to play an instrument, if you want to produce music, do as much research as possible to learn the craft.
That's right.
And then pray on it.
That's right. I love that. Perfect your craft
Yeah.
first. So with that, Janet, before we tell them where to reach you, we don't want to forget. We have a caller, you guys.
Oh, nice.
Well, I guess when I said I was sad, they wanted to start calling in. So, caller, you are on the air. You are listening to Lady Keesha on the Flavore AIDE radio show on 108praiseradio.com. Who's on the air? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Miss Keesha.
Oh, I know who this is. This is my baby Maggie.
Yes, it is Maggie. How is everyone?
Ain't you in Miami?
Hi, Maggie.
You're in Miami, right?
I sure am. I am on the road driving. You know how to call in. Represent Flavore.
Well, I don't want you to get in no wreck now while you're driving back now. Don't do that. But you always showing love. You guys, Maggie is so amazing. She's a single mom of 4, and she does a lot for Flavore. She really does. So many doors have opened. She's just introduced so many people to Flavore. She lives in Orlando, so we're from Florida. Well, from Florida, but she lives in Florida. So shout out to Florida. Florida's been calling. I love you, Maggie, so much. Thank you. Be safe. I'm gonna end your call because you're driving, and you know how I am about it.
And I love you too.
I know. I know.
It's awesome radio. Awesome.
Thank you, baby. I love you. Be safe, and text me and let me know when you make it home.
I sure will. Okay,
right,
guys. I sure will text you. No
right.
problem. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
He's like, no, get off the phone.
Yes, please. I'm going to need Maggie to concentrate on that road. Yeah. So with that, this has been an amazing show, you guys. And I cannot believe it's almost over. It is. So, Janet, I want you to tell them, your listening audience, where could they find you?
Again, on Instagram, _ Janet _ Keys.
I know. There she goes, the underscore. And if you don't know what it is, it's the lower dash.
Control, Alt.
Right.
Control, Alt.
Right.
The @ no.
Exactly.
Or on Facebook, Janet the Musician.
Yes.
You can find me.
Yes. I'm just amazed, you guys, in a room full of talent, of lovely ladies. And we had ladies today, but before we talk about our plans, we have a very special guest that's going to be coming over here saying what's up to the listening audience. This is our first show, so it's very special. So I want my special folks on the show. So he's supposed to be walking over here right about now. He walks slow anyway. But I would love for him to just give a shout out to our fans that are listening on the Flavore AIDE radio show we have today. So who do we have walking over here?
What's up, Radio World?
Yes, Radio World.
Just want to say I'm proud of you and thank you for having me. I'm honored. It's a pleasure listening to all you ladies.
We did good today, tell the truth.
Yes, y'all did.
Because he's like my behind the scenes critic.
Right.
So as soon as I get in the truck, I'm going to say, how I did. How I did, what I need to work on. So Courtney, remember I'm going to ask you that too before I leave her too. And see the owner. Shout out to Mr. Courtney. I love Courtney. And Courtney, I know I give you a hard time, but when you learn my personality, you're going to love me. I just mean well. So shout out to the owner of 108praiseradio.com. And shout out to Mikey B, my ace here. And I just love you all. So that's what I wanted you to do. He know what I want him to do. Okay, so to end the show, I just want us to talk about what are we going to do for the holidays, since this is Christmas weekend. So we're getting ready to go in about 3-4 minutes. So Miss Keena, what you doing for the holidays?
I am going back to my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. And
Memphis. I didn't know you were from Memphis. I did some speaking roles in Knoxville. How far is that from Memphis?
It's
That's
far.
a long.
Yeah.
See, I can't. That's why I ain't see no sign that say Memphis.
Yeah, Knoxville's closer to Nashville.
I did see
and
Nashville
Chattanooga.
one way and Knoxville that way when I got to a certain point.
No, Memphis is far, but I am going back home with my family, and we're not doing the traditional Christmas thing. We are actually going to be in onesies. We are.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's going to be
We're
cute.
going to have our onesies, and we're going to have finger food, and we're going to watch movies, play games, tell stories. So that's
going to
doing.
be nice. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with different. Because for some reason, the Holy Spirit put in my spirit this year to have a family cabin in the mountains. We haven't done that since I was a little girl. We would go to Gatlinburg every year. Not this year's Rabin Gap. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Rabin Gap or Raboon Gap or whatever it is. I'm country. Look, I'm country. We just say stuff. I just know we're going to be in the mountains, okay? So with that, we changed it up because every year, using me and my boyfriend, we'll have Christmas, open gifts. I work Christmas. With State Farm, we never close. You know, we never close. There's accidents out there and things like that. But then that night, we go to a movie. So for some reason, it's been embedded in my spirit to have the cabin. I called my daddy and them, and they was like, oh, yeah, we excited. Put it together. They already here a day early. Already here a day early. So there's nothing wrong with being different. And that goes back to one of the questions I asked you. What are the most memorable moments? So that will be memorable.
It will be.
So you have fun. I'm excited for you. Thank you.
Too.
And Kenny, you've had a phenomenal year. I've been following you. You know, I might not always press like and things like that. And people get on me when I don't press like on their stuff. Well, I saw you press like on theirs. You didn't press like on. I'm like, my God, how old are we now? You know.
That is crazy.
But I love what you're doing. You're always doing something, and you're one of the silent people that I call that are like a silent supporter for me. You know, and your support speaks volumes because I don't take it lightly. I don't deal with a lot of folks like that, but I do consider you one of my supporters, and I support you.
Thank you.
So thank you for loving me. I want you to have an amazing Christmas, and a happy New Year, a phenomenal New Year. You're going into that longevity year, so get ready for that.
Thank you.
Yep. And Miss Janet, I like Janet. You know, and see, I don't know about y'all. But because of different things I've learned, when I see people with other people, if somebody invite me to an event, I got to see who they connected with first. Or if somebody requests me on Facebook, I got to see what mutual friends you're involved with first. Because I don't want to connect. So I automatically knew when to invite you. You was connected to her. So I had to have you on the show as well.
Thank you
So I really want you to have a good Christmas. So what are you going to be doing for the holidays?
I'm going to the mountains.
Yes!
I'm actually leaving right now.
Yes! I've been recording the thing. We like, what in the world is going on?
I have to say, though, this is my first Christmas without my mother. She passed 6 months ago. So that's why we're doing something. You know, we're still dealing with that loss, but we plan on doing the onesies.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's nice.
We're cooking.
Okay.
I plan on getting up in the morning and looking at they tell me you can see the clouds in the mountains when you step
way
out
high.
the door. So you got to be ready for that.
You got to be ready for that. Going up there way high.
Yeah.
And do you know if it's paved as you go up? Because
It's
ours
not.
is paved.
It's not paved. Yeah.
By the grace of God, we already going to say how to greet Benedict Church.
Right.
May the Lord watch between
That's
you.
right. That's right.
But I'm so sorry about your mom.
Thank you.
We send our condolences.
Thank
And
you
we
so much.
always say in the olden church, we will see them in the heavenly morning. You know, So I really want you to have a good time, and this
Thank
will
you.
be memorable. Not only
Yes.
the first without her, but I know you all will make it memorable.
We will.
Okay.
We will.
So with
Thank
that
you.
being said, we do have a caller on the air before I tell what I'm going to do and before we wrap the show. So we're going to see who is actually on the air here with us. You are listening to Lady Keesha on 108 Praise Radio. Caller, you're on the air with the Flavore AIDE Radio Show.
Hey, good evening. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for taking my call. This is Leanne.
Oh, I'm wondering, like, who? Leanne, you should see my eyes, girl. You should see my eyes. Leanne, oh my God, you guys, we have another celebrity on the line. Oh my goodness. Leanne Foster, I love her. I love, she see how humble she is? Leanne is let me tell y'all, Leanne is one of the queens of Atlanta, honey. You gonna see Leanne at the Stellars. You gonna see her at the Rice Awards, the Steeple. You gonna see Leanne somewhere everywhere. And Leanne actually has her own radio show as well. So before we get off the air, I would like for you to tell them where they can reach you at. But she's very, I think she's in management over at what's the name of your? I think that's where we met, Keena, at Nancy's Pizza in Midtown.
Yeah,
I think that's
She
where
was
we
there?
met. She's actually the one that coordinates everything that goes on over there.
Oh,
Yeah. So Leanne, baby girl.
Wait, is she the one that had to give me a phone too?
That's her. That
I
was her.
remember.
Little
I
short,
remember.
light skin
Yeah,
Leanne.
yeah, okay.
So Leanne, I want you to have a good Christmas and thank you for calling in. But let them know exactly where they can reach you and what's going on next over at Nancy's Pizza in Midtown.
Absolutely. I'm so proud to be supporting another new Nancy's opening in Perimeter Dunwoody. We'll be opening soon, so I would love to send you a grand opening invite. That is on Ashford Dunwoody Road near Perimeter Mall.
I feel
Beautiful
fancy.
location. Of course, I still and always will support the Midtown location. I actually
Yes.
support all of the Nancy's Pizzas
Yes.
in the metro Atlanta area, which are all Black-owned and operated franchisees. So I'm super,
I didn't know
super
that.
proud.
Wow.
Yes. Please
That's
go
amazing.
support the Nancy's brand,
Mhm.
and they're growing and coming online throughout the metro area.
Yes.
So yes, thank you so much.
Aw.
They can follow me at The Loving Leanne on Instagram, The Loving Leanne, and anywhere you see Miss Keesha, I know she can get you in contact with me. So
Yes, Leanne, I love you. I mean, we just divinely connect. We divinely connect because we coordinated an event there. She wasn't the first
I
voice
love
that
you
I
more.
spoke
I'm super
to.
proud of you.
Yes, but we ended up connecting there, and I've been inseparable with Leanne since. I love her. She takes me who I am. I take her. I love you, Leanne. I want you to have a Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for calling in. But you know, I want you to be a guest on my radio. I actually have you as a name on my list. I actually have you.
Well, let's do it. Let's
Yes.
do it. I love 108 Praise Radio. Shout out to the 108 Praise family.
Yes.
Who trusted me to get my start. So I love each and every one of you. Happy
Yes.
holidays.
Thank you,
And
Leanne.
let's
You
stay
too.
connected.
You too. Love you, girl. We'll see each other soon.
Thank you. Love you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, you guys, I love her. She is just the epitome of inspiration. But I did not know all of Nancy Pieces were African American owned. So now we have to
Now
support
we gotta
that.
get right.
And that was something that I had said when I moved here. All of my doctors were going to be African American.
Mm-hmm.
All of my doctors, I'm acting like I got a disease. You know, my teeth, my orthodontist. Let me look. Let me break it down. My dentist is African American. What else I got going? My dermatologist is African American. My OBGYN is African American. Me and her have the same name, but now my primary care, she is Indian. But you would think she was a sister now. She don't play. So with that, we'll definitely have to support Nancy's. And like she said, there's a brand new Nancy's opening in Dunwoody. I didn't know that. So they are growing, you guys.
Wow.
They're growing. So we definitely want to support that. So before we go, because we are at the end, what I'm doing for Christmas, I'm like you, Janet. We're going to be in the mountains, my family, my parents, some of the grandkids, my sister and her husband, a cousin and a good friend girl, and her friend girl just lost her brother 2 nights ago, but her friend still wants to come.
Okay.
So I'm like, we just gonna love on her and support her. Maybe this will help her get past that. But before we in the show, I definitely want to have you tell them, Keena, where they can reach you, and then again with you, Miss Janet, where they can reach you as well.
Okay. You can reach me at Keena C Music. That's KENACMUSIC on all social media platforms. Whatever you have, I'm on it.
Yes, yes. And then Miss Janet.
And I am on Instagram. Every time I say this, I laugh. _ Janet _ Keys.
We done started stuff.
I say that again. _ Janet _ Keys. And on Facebook, Janet the musician.
See, that's so easy, Janet Musician on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be following that
Okay.
one now. All right. So do you both, any one of you, do you have anything else you would like to say to the listening audience before we leave?
Merry Christmas. Happy
Yeah.
New Year.
That would be good. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. And one thing I would love to say is you all, please stop taking Christ out of the word Christmas. I hate to see, and this is something I'm guilty of, well, I was guilty of. I would always see that X and just go, oh, it's just easier to write, just because you didn't know any better coming up.
Yeah.
But the real meaning does not need to be X'd out.
No.
So we could take a little bit more time and write the word Christ out and just go and write it out. So that's what my wish is to everybody. Just remember the meaning of Christmas and love on somebody else, enjoy family and friends. But I want to thank each of you for tuning in to our very first show. You can reach us every 5th Saturday, the Flavor AIDE radio show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. right here on 108praiseradio.com. I want to give a shout out to Courtney, the owner of 108 Praise Radio. Thank you for just inviting, being so inviting to us, Courtney, for the Flavor AIDE radio show. We're going to make you proud now. We're going to make you proud. But I really, really am grateful for everybody. Mikey B for being our guest today here, waiting on me to finish. You too. So I love you, radio family. Thank you so much for tuning in, all of our listeners, our callers. Thank you. And it was 3, and that's my favorite number. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. That's my favorite number. So we love you guys. Have a Merry Christmas, and it's a wrap. It is a wrap.